This feels like a clickbait title.
You can read this one if you want to.
Sandy's like, no, I'm good. No. I don't want to get canceled on Twitter.
You got this one. This is your whole.
I was gonna be like, Sandy, do you want to take this one? Your last one was so short. Sandy's like, no, I'm good.
I'm all filled up. I'm good. I'm good.
So good. This hole got some stank on it. You can take it. All right, here we go. Am I the asshole for scolding my disabled neighbor? I've recently adopted a dog to not only get myself out of the house more often, but to tackle agoraphobia, but also have a companion by my side. Things have been great for the most part, but due to her past, she is reactive but not aggressive. When things become too much, she begins to panic, growling and barking at whatever is exciting her. She pulls at the leash and tries to wriggle out of her harness. She struggles to understand that sometimes she can't meet everyone all the time and becomes upset often, but I'm training her how to cope with that, which takes time. I've met quite a few neighbors thanks to my pup, and she is extremely friendly and everyone wants to meet her. I found out that a group of the neighbors like to meet at the park right next to my house often, where I take my dog to go to the bathroom multiple times a day. There are other places to go, sure, but at the park I also give my baby girl a good game of fetch with a frisbee to give her a little exercise, plus it's literally right next to my house. On to the reason I'm typing this. I don't know what his disability is. It's none of my business to know unless he decides otherwise. He really loves my dog, loves petting her. She is, to be honest, mostly indifferent. Human is human, pets are pets. He doesn't seem to take no for an answer, being persistent to an annoying extent. I can see where maybe we are getting in a little bit of a pickled conundrum here. A big example is when we're in a group setting, he gets annoyed when my dog doesn't focus on him. Why does your neighbor feel entitled to your dog's attention? So many people for her to see and talk to, and he seems to expect her to only want pets from him. That's weird. But what is their disability? Is it a cognitive thing? We don't know. We don't know. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
I've tried to ease the awkwardness by giving him treats to give her to bribe for pets, but she doesn't get the hint because she is obviously a dog. Thank you for that clarification. I thought you had a small human child on a leash being taken to the park. One night I was taking my dog out to the park to go to the bathroom. It was earlier than usual because I wanted to be up early the next day. I was hoping to not bump into anyone. I was in my PJs, no bra on, no shoes on, hair all messy. My girl had reacted to some dogs we walked past, so she was anxious as a result, but all she had to do was dookie. And then we go right back home where I could calm her down for sleep. I saw some neighbors at the usual spot, waved from a distance, and kept walking. I suddenly heard my disabled neighbor calling my dog's name again and again. Wait a minute, hang on. You keep saying your disabled neighbor, but you don't know what the disability is.
Yeah.
And the neighbor hasn't told you. So how do you know your neighbor is disabled?
See, that's what I'm.
Is it an assumption? Because that's kind of.
That's a bit tricky.
Yeah.
You know?
It comes off ableist. That's, yeah. Unless it's a cognitive impairment that affects behavior. I don't know how this is relevant, to be honest. Yeah, nothing.
Agreed to that.
I kept telling her to ignore it and kept trying to walk further away, but she was becoming more and more stressed. As she got more stressed, I got more flustered. I thought it was obvious I was not going to bring her over for pets, or at the very least, it was more than obvious I was ignoring my neighbor. The neighbor wasn't even trying to make his way over to us. He was just yelling her name again, and again. As you were walking away?
Okay.
Unable to take a hint, my neighbor became so persistent that my dog desperately began jumping to try to get to him. Then she decided to suddenly jump in the opposite direction, possibly just to try to escape. Before I could react and grab her harness in time, she slipped on her landing and I heard a loud thud as her butt hit the hard concrete, and then she yelped in pain. At this point, all I could do was to try and soothe her, touching her around her butt to see if she was still hurting anywhere, in particular, if I should take her to the nearest vet immediately. She was shaking and panting and still whining out of frustration when my neighbor wheels over and said, "Why didn't you come when I called you?"
Oh man.
Okay, so wheels over. I assume your neighbor's in a wheelchair. That makes sense. Okay. I don't know what came over me. I was so angry at him that I felt something growing deep in my chest. It was different from anxiety. I almost felt like I could hurt him. I've never felt this way before, but looking at my dog in pain just triggered something deep inside of me. We call that paternal instinct. I glared up at him and yelled, because I obviously was ignoring you. I'm just trying to take my dog out for a shit, and you can't take a fucking hint. Now look at what you've done. You know how she is, how she gets. What makes you think you're so entitled to see her on demand? Can you fuck off? He muttered something that sounded like a sorry and left us be. I didn't end up sleeping that night. I had to take my dog to the 24-hour vet because she clearly wasn't doing well. She couldn't even squat to poop.
Wow.
X-rays showed that she hasn't broken anything, thank God, but she's got bruising due to impact. She can't run around and play frisbee at least until the next vet appointment, and she's got a limp. The vet said that due to her size, I'm lucky that she didn't hurt her hips or spine, just really bad muscle bruising. I've seen my other neighbors since it happened, and they all seem to know something happened, but I don't think they know the truth. They all seem accusatory in how they ask about what happened, or they just death glare me now. I see my neighbors at the park, but none of them seem to want to talk to me anymore. One neighbor told me that because he's disabled, I shouldn't have told him off like that. I've done nothing but defend my actions, but I've got to know from a non-neighbor perspective, am I the asshole? Traumatic for such a nervous dog. That's the worst. Right. Your dog is literally anxious, and they didn't help at all.
Yeah.
They felt entitled to getting attention from your dog, and by calling your dog, expected you to come when called.
But like also like you're not like one of the neighbors telling her that because he's disabled you shouldn't have told him off like that is not that's not the reason that you should not. Does that make sense? Like that's
just because someone is disabled doesn't mean they're exempt from being scolded when they do something shitty. Don't placate to someone just because they're disabled. Call out their shitty behaviors. Right. That's so infantilizing to the neighbor. Right. Yeah. If their disability has no relation to their actions, then yeah, right. They're in a wheelchair and it doesn't sound cognitive. That's true. They did get the dog to get over their agoraphobia. So literally in the post, you're not going to be prone to confrontation, and that makes sense. I can see how you would not be comfortable going up to this person and establishing that boundary, but it's absolutely something that needed to happen. I don't think it makes OP an asshole, no. Yeah, I think it's a shitty but justified moment. Like, yes, it boiled up to a point where it probably shouldn't have. It boiled up to a point that could have been avoided with communication, but obviously, like, your neighbor incited your dog so much that your dog got injured. Badly. Yeah. So much that you can't squat to poop. Yeah, I think this is a not the asshole, shitty but justified, but could have been handled better sort of moment. Mm-hmm. This title could be the title of a fucking Green Day song. All right, New Dicky going live. Sandy, hit us with that title.
All right. Will I be the asshole for not organizing our annual senior high school reunion because I am still upset about some people's action statements from last year?
Like, I might want to go one time, but I don't want to see those people every year. That's right. That's so many reunions.
You're the asshole for doing this annually.
Right.
Like, people are allowed to not want to go to a reunion, and so if you don't want to go, then you shouldn't organize it, you know?
Wait, my community is predominantly queer and trans and gay. Of course they don't want to go back to high school. Of course we don't want to go back to high school, dude. Oh, yep. Oh wait, I read the third option as anally. Is Is that why we got to vote for annually, baby? Because you read it as anally? You want to go to your high school reunion anally? Welcome to the 20-year reunion of our senior graduating class. This year's theme is swinger orgy. So come and come.
Come and come. I want to go anally, but I don't want to organize it.
The theme is birthday suit. So come your best dressed. C-U-M, your best dressed. Anyway, let's read this whole.
Oh man.
Oh,
okay.
So this is not the US either. Oh my
God.
Oh my God. Oh, this one's a novel, dude.
This
Buckle
is
the
juicy.
fuck up. Let's go.
We got another 2 edits on this. Oh man. I am not from the US. Our school system works quite differently, but I tried to translate everything as well as I could. In 2016, I graduated from senior high school, meaning I took the final exams to leave school and go on to university. Our class got along quite okay as it can be for being 24 18-year-olds.
That is an extremely small graduating class.
Very small school.
Very small.
Of course, you don't get along with everyone the same, but there were no huge conflicts that resulted in classmates hating each other. You could still talk to everyone.
Okay.
Since our class representative kind of vanished from the group, he had some private issues to deal with. I took on organizing our annual class reunion. And up to now, I have done that 4 times.
Okay.
It's not a lot of work to me, since organizing stuff is something I like to do. As of late, there was a trend manifesting. Less and less people came to the reunions, and less people even responded. Last year was a blatant reminder to me why this could be the case. To make things clearer, I should introduce to you one of my classmates and former friends who we are going to call Bob. I love Bob. I love Barbara. I love it. Bob and I knew each other from elementary school up to senior high school. We started to drift apart and fully lost contact at university. He has a very, let's call it, iconic style of humor.
I don't trust like that.
I don't know what that means.
Your humor, iconic.
Iconic. When he said something, he would just burst into laughter, which made you laugh too. But whatever he said was neither a joke nor funny. It was rather funny in the sense of strange, a weird hypothetical. Sometimes it involved people of our friend group, which was usually fine. We knew to not take it seriously back then, since we generally liked each other. We were sure there was no intention of harming anyone. At last year's reunion, Bob called me a quote-unquote dictator. Everyone seemed to laugh, some more uncomfortably, some less. Later on that evening, he made fun of my voluntary work and even jokingly questioned if I'm fit for this kind of work. Bob didn't discriminate. He didn't do this only to me. Pretty much every one of the few people who attended got targeted at least once.
Sounds like Bob's a dick.
Iconic.
Whoa, we called it. What? Whoa.
And those who didn't attend were targets as well, so people be catching strays. Gotcha. Awesome. Some people, including our former teachers, chimed in and continued this style of talking about / to each other. At the end of the evening, Bob said that he was sad just a few people attended, but he was glad that he could talk more open due to that.
Oh, thank God there's not a whole lot of people here. I can be a fucking dickhole. Great, baby.
So, this reunion has left a pretty bad taste in my mouth, and I am debating not organizing another reunion until some time has passed. There will probably be no reunion then, but I guess it's better that way. I don't want to facilitate another bully circle jerk. Edit 1. This is my organizing process. When I organize gatherings like this reunion, I always put out a Google Forms thingy where everyone can pick dates, suggest locations, etc. The date most picked and the most suggested location will be when and where the gathering will be held. Easy as that. Easy as that. I also send reminders into the group chat if there is an open forms to fill out. People who don't want to attend, no matter the date or location, can just pick that in the forms without having to mention a reason. I am always transparent about this process. At last year's reunion, the place we went to won by one vote, specifically my vote. Edit number 2. This is some context plus some comments that made me just uncomfortable. We're going to learn more about Bob.
The tea.
Learn about edit 2 is going to be my favorite edit. I'm going to tell you right now. I voluntarily work as a sex educator.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Nice. We like
We
this.
hate Bob, we love OP.
Yep. To be more specific, I actually lead the local team. I do this on the side while studying to become a teacher. Bob made some remarks poking fun at the name of this voluntary work and suggesting that there are more important things adolescents should be taught
I
than
disagree.
sex education. I completely disagree with that. Context, Bob is studying to become a doctor. Another instance B, the boyfriend of one of our former teachers showed up, and as we found out, he was married 3 times before being with her. Bob said that this boyfriend might be a better fit for my sexual education work since he had way more experience than I ever could have. Context, I am asexual.
Bob fucking sucks so
Jesus
bad.
Christ, dude. Don't invite Bob.
Don't invite Bob. Bob is no longer.
Bob's
Bob
not
is the
invited.
reason no one's showing up to your fucking reunions.
True.
All my homies hate Bob.
So content warning, transphobia. A teacher told a story about a problematic, in quotes, child in one of her classes as of late. I asked her what the problem was because she only just explained to me that the kid was trans. I didn't get an answer. She just nodded and kind of looked away. Then I said to her, I might be the wrong person to complain to about that. I know too much to think that's weird.
That's such a good
That is such a good.
I'm
that is
too
such a good
educated
response.
to think that that's weird, so I might be a bad person to talk about it because I have a brain and I'm capable of critical thinking and doing research. Yeah. It's weird.
Man. Another example, the 2 teachers that were present gossiped about another one of our teachers who wasn't there and with whom they once were friends with. They described him as a quote-unquote freak and a man-child who isn't fit for having a baby because he is into D&D, Star Wars, etc.
I think you just need to cancel these reunions because all of these people suck. Your teachers suck.
And then the last example, there's a content warning for homophobia. Our former biology teacher talked to me about my sex education work and made a comment about a 12-year-old in one of her classes who recently came out as a lesbian. The comment was, does this happen more often now? Don't you think that is too young to know? Yeah, this is not a reunion that I would want to go to at all, let alone annually.
Oh yeah, I would not want to be in the same building as these people. I wouldn't want to be in the same
city. Yeah.
as these people. Honestly, I'll say it, I don't want to be on the same planet as these people, but unfortunately, space travel has not progressed that far.
Also, if Bob's talking about how easy it is to organize or someone could do it better, let him organize it. You know?
Let Bob do it then.
Let Bob do it.
With all these shitty assholes. Anyway, fuck Bob. No, you're not an asshole. I'd cancel the whole goddamn thing, make someone else do it. Am I the asshole for not calling my dying father? Bonus, would I be the asshole if I told off my mother's friend? Ooh, two
We love
holes
a little
for the
double.
price
We
of
love a little.
one?
We love a little 2 holes, 1 stone.
Little
You know,
2 holes? 1 inspection? Oh,
Wow. None.
Okay.
What a treat! What a treat!
Okay. My mother's college roommate, to whom I've never given my contact info, texted me to ask me to call my father, who was, quote, in the middle of a medical emergency. trying to get me to reconcile with my parents. So that tells me that you have your parents full cut off, blocked as hell, and someone that is not even related to you, you've never even talked to or thought about. It's like, hey, you should reconcile with your parents. No? I didn't read the text. I used my phone's notification pull down to see it without reading and didn't respond. I had already heard from my sister-in-law, brother's wife, keeps tabs on our family on Facebook, that the family was saying he was, quote, in an ambulance and on the way to the hospital. I really wanted to respond to my mother's friend that I was throwing a party from the news. You should have.
Damn, dude.
Sorry, I thought you had me in the first half, but yes, you are the asshole for not delivering that sweet ass line.
Not saying that, yeah.
But I feel like I would be an asshole if I did, since she probably doesn't know why we don't talk. My brother and I stopped talking to our parents several years ago, with support from both of our wives. We grew up as kids in what could easily compare to Duggar level cult. Watch Shiny Happy People if you want a semi-short summary. The series explores the dark secrets of the Duggar family, best known for the TLC reality series 19 Kids and Counting. Oh.
Huh.
It investigates Josh Duggar's conviction for knowingly receiving and possessing child pornography. Yep. Knowingly receiving and possessing child pornography and the family's ties to the Institute in Basic Life Principles and its controversial leader, Bill Gothard, showing how the organization has influenced the Duggars, the influence of Christian youth organizations, and including Generation Joshua. It is also discussed in the documentary. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, ultra religious monsters. Okay. Josh has also been accused of molesting his younger family members. Oh, fuck. This hole took a turn. Damn. All right. Our parents were missionaries in said church and took us with them overseas throughout our childhood. I had a different home and school every year of my life until high school for a benchmark on how often we moved. So my brother and I didn't have many friends growing up and relied mostly on each other, especially when our parents left us alone at home to go proselytize at people. We were overseas, remember, so it was legal to leave kids at home without a babysitter. As early children, my brother and I got spanked for everything, no matter how small. In our teens, we used to get into physical fistfights with our father for things such as coming home late when working a closing shift in retail, closing on time and coming straight home, stealing credit cards when ordering a free set of software CDs that didn't require a card, only an address for shipping, aging myself here, not mowing the lawn when it was heavily raining outside and we had already confirmed with mom that we could do it the next day, listening to music other than a very specific subset of religious music that he approved, watching some movies, including G-rated ones, because he didn't agree with the quote-unquote message, probably a lot of other things that I'm repressing. I even remember blockading my room's door with my clothes dresser, leaning against it, bawling, while my father tried to beat down the door because I was tired of fighting. That is, once I had a door to close.
Wow.
Good Lord. Do we need to read the rest of this?
We don't.
No,
we don't.
Not the asshole. Do we want to read the rest of this? There's so much.
Oh my
God. There's so much more.
God.
You see that?
I do see that.
Uh-huh.
I do see that sentence.
Wow. Wow.
God damn.
We can make an announcement when the read is over. Yeah, so we're gonna continue reading because I know a lot of people are curious, and I appreciate the sharing of this. I know this is incredibly vulnerable to share, because holy fuck. We're gonna keep going. Sandy, are you good to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go.
Should be good.
Our mother wasn't much better. She rarely hit us, but was a master at manipulation. She would cry at us until we did what she wanted and then would immediately stop crying as if she was never sad in the first place. She also made excuses for our father hitting us. He had a rough workday, he's stressed out, etc. My brother joined the military as soon as he could in order to get out of the house and away from our father, and I did the same shortly afterwards because it was preferable to living in that hellhole any longer than we had to. After the military, for a few years, I had trouble finding a steady job immediately, so I was fixing people's computers in exchange for sleeping on their couch and taking a shower. Our parents stopped talking about me or to me during that entire time period. I got lucky with a few key jobs and advancements, and then they started bragging about me working at job at billions of people are familiar with. And then the fun came. My mother started doing MLMs and tried to get our wives into doing them.
Classic mother-in-law. Classic
Mother behavior. This lady loves cults. Why choose one cult when you could choose all of them? Right. Anyway, I hope OP finds some catharsis in making fun of their parents. Yeah, the mom deserves it, it's true. And then the MLM friends she made started convincing her of more Q-Anon stuff, like fluoride in water is bad for you, and started posting it on social media, which my brother and I would then have to go and discredit before all of our friends perpetuated it. Here's the link to disprove that, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you,
Just
OP.
in case.
Let's go.
Thank you so much.
Let's go, OP. Thank you.
She would then delete the post, repost it so our comments weren't there anymore. Some of the things both our parents posted were borderline treasonous. And my brother and I both had security clearances high enough that they investigate family and upbringing. My brother tried to calmly get them to stop posting crazy things online. He put it more nicely, but I can't remember the exact wording. And our father ended up calling him raging, saying that he made our mother cry. My brother called me to let me know everything that had happened. At this point, I was only continuing to talk to my parents because my brother had started going to get a semi-decent relationship back with them. That is way more than they deserve in a huge way. I texted our parents a really long text that was granular and ended stating that if they didn't cut out posting the shit online, we would stop talking to them and to choose their response carefully. All four of us were sitting in a room discussing this as I wrote out the text to our parents. I got a few angry texts in response and nothing else, so I had my answer, and my brother and our wives cut contact with them. Over the next 2 years, we had a number of "I don't know why you're not talking to me" messages, including to our wives. They ended up using other family to surprise us into lunch for my brother's birthday, which was awkward because we still didn't talk to them. That is, except for my sister-in-law, who told our father, when he mentioned he would pay, that we preferred he didn't. She's great. To his credit, he didn't pay, but instead raged out of the restaurant before we even ordered and never came back. Sounds like a win-win scenario to me.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Bye. Stay mad. Thank you so much. As an extra topping on this poop Sunday, I'm super private. I haven't logged into social media in years. I prefer not to have my picture taken. I don't share contact info unless I know someone, and hate when other people give my info away without asking. Even my friends of friends know not to share my info without asking. So having someone I don't talk to share my info with a lady I've met maybe 5 or 6 times in my life, including as an infant, just ruffled my feathers. My father is dying, right? Maybe I should get some stuff off my chest, right? No. He never even rode in an ambulance. He had a previously scheduled biopsy done. Now, he may end up with something in the long run, hopefully, but it was certainly not the medical emergency that everyone made it out to be. More likely, it was just another attempt to get my brother and I to talk to them. I have a theory that the thing he had a biopsy done on would have been fine if they hadn't gone down the MLM line, because they stopped taking medicine for anything, including existing medical issues, and used essential oils instead. But you tell me, am I the asshole for not calling my dying father? And would I be the asshole for responding rudely to my mother's friend? No, and no, and no, and no, and no.
Yeah, it's gonna be a double no for me, Beeps. It's gonna be a double no.
Right,
The two
like,
no's, no squared.
in Minecraft, theoretically, if you could afford several blimps,
I like the comment. I am summoning a fleet of F-150s.
a fleet of F-150s is to drive into these people's homes. Minecraft, famous for the blimps. Go on. Exactly. See, thank you. Yeah, not the asshole. Not the asshole. I cannot overstate how much of not the asshole you are in this situation. Oh no, it's giving Instagram, Mom.
It is. It is. This next one, yeah.
No.
This next one is giving.
I hope
Instagram
this
Mom.
is the levity we need from the last one. I'm really hoping.
It has that tone. It does have that tone.
It
that
has
is a
the
little
tone,
levity.
but
Yeah.
it could veer off into the way that maybe
It's veered off before, Beeps. It's veered off before.
It's veered off
tonight.
before.
Am I the asshole for trying to stop a woman from filming her daughter and blocking many people's views?
All right, let's do it.
All right. I, 38 male, was attending a college gymnastics meet with my partner, 37 female. At one point during the meet, a woman in team colors of one of the colleges walks down the aisle to stand and film her, I assume, daughter near me. I saw several people ask her to crouch down or move because they were blocking their view. She completely ignored them and continued to film her daughter. I was standing near her and decided to try to intervene as several people were complaining. Nice. I stood up and tried to stand in her field of vision, asking her to crouch or move, but she just ignored me and moved. So eventually, I sat down with a shrug. Later in the meet, a man wearing the same college colors as her walked down and started berating me for getting in her way. I ignored him and did not engage. This is crazy. This is crazy. I ignored him and did not engage, as I felt intimidated as he was much larger than me. My partner engaged him, but he ignored her entirely, and once he finished his rant, he went back to his seat. I had several folks come up and compliment me on trying to stop the woman from blocking people's views. But afterwards, as we were leaving the stadium, the gentleman yelled at me again. I continued to ignore him, and he walked off. Am I the asshole?
This couple has no other life. They are obsessed. Like, bro, it's not that serious. I don't know about gentlemen. The chivalrous code
true.
says nothing about sticking your schmeat in a stranger's face while yelling at them about blocking your wife's view of your alleged daughter while filming and literally feeling entitled to the entire event and blocking other people's enjoyment. Yeah, not the asshole. Yeah. So this is mine, and to add context, the guy was, as far as I could tell from his rant, unrelated to the woman.
Why does that make it better?
What? Oh, those were some wild assholes.
Really a good variety. A really good variety. of them, though,
Some
you know?
very serious, very trauma-filled holes, and also ones that were not serious at all. God damn.